Hi guys, and welcome to another video, and it's another signing as well as more contract renewals. I tell you what, Christian Speakman, you deserve another Yorkshire pudding on your Sunday dinner this evening. You really do, son, because you've done a cracking job at the minute. Isn't it crazy that Sunderland, it's barely mid-June, we've got 3 new signings, and we've also got really important players getting tied down to long-term contracts. It's the most not Sunderland thing. It's the least Sunderland thing to ever happen, but it's happening and I'm all aboard. I am absolutely all aboard. But who am I talking about? We do have a new signing, Lewis Semedo. So the trio, I made a video the other week, a trio, and I said we were linked with Triantis, I said we were linked with Bellingham and Semedo. Semedo? Jesus Christ, that's a cool name, but it isn't his name. His name is Lewis Semedo. All 3 of those players were linked, and every single one of those players since that video have signed. I should probably do a video on Messi or something, shouldn't I? Next and see what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like the video. I'm in a good mood. I'm very hyper right now. But yeah, I'm hyper and I'm happy because I just love the way this club's being run at the minute. Yes, it's a lot of youth. But the thing is, you know, there's a lot of people who are still crying out for experience, which I do understand and I believe that we need. But right now, Sunderland have become this club that is such an appealing project to come to, you know, for youngsters around the globe at this point. You know, we're becoming this, it's almost like a hotbed of youth that can come here, and they're not just sitting in the under 23s or the under 21s and rotting. If you're good enough, it doesn't matter what your age is. You know, if you're good enough, you're playing and you're starting and you're getting game time. That's why we had the average age of, I think it's 23 last season, the youngest average starting 11 last season, and people are starting to see it, and players are starting to see it, and that's exciting for us because players are wanting to come, which is something that, again, we haven't had for a while, you know, in the past. So I love the way this club's been run in the minute, but I won't bore you with me ranting about how amazing the club is right now. Well, amazing. I won't go too far. I'm excited. I told you that. But yeah, so we will have a look at the statement regarding Lewis Semedo. Again, a player that we've already discussed on the channel, but we'll have a look at the club statement. So Sunderland AFC is delighted to announce the signing of striker Lewis Silva Semedo, subject to international clearance. Known as Hamir, the 19-year-old has completed a move to Wayside from Benfica for an undisclosed fee and signed a 5-year contract at the Stadium of Light. The striker featured for Benfica B and the Portuguese outfit's under-23 side throughout the past 2 seasons, scoring a total of 28 goals in 61 appearances. Hamir has also represented Portugal at youth level, representing the under-16s, 19 and 20 level. A towering presence, Hamir's technical ability is also a key part of his arsenal, and the highly rated youngster will link up with the first team when they return to training on Monday the 26th of June. After moving to Wayside, the striker said, "This is a big move for me and I'm very excited to be here. Sunderland AFC have a lot of young players playing an important part in the team, and I think this will be really good for my personal development. I'm excited to meet my new teammates, see the stadium and experience the fans." Sporting director Christian Speakman added, "Hamir is a very talented young player who's motivated to develop and progress. It was not an easy decision for him to leave a club where he's been since 8 years of age, and equally it was not an easy acquisition for us considering the level of interest in him. He will complement our existing options in the final third, and he possesses some great physical and technical attributes, so we're all really happy he's chosen to continue his career with SAFC." So there you go. In terms of stats, I know a lot of people do just stick and they glue to stats and look at Wikipedia, and that's what they do. And granted, it was at pretty much a youth level, but to get 28 goals in 60-odd games, that's a goal every other game. You know, you can only go up against what was put in front of you, and he's done very, very well, and to be recognised at almost all youth levels for Portugal, again, it speaks volumes. I'm not going to sit here and say I know loads about the lad. It's another case of it's an unearthed gem. Hopefully it's a gem anyway, but all we can do is look at YouTube compilations of videos, and there's some of them where he looks great in terms of his positional awareness. There's loads of sort of poaching goals, and there's a mixture of balls over the top. He's quick, for a big lad as well. He's strong, and at 19 he's only going to build up his physical prowess, you would think, just naturally. So it could really complement what we've already got, because we think when we first started last season, when Stuart's fit, and of course he was upstairs. I can't talk, I'm excited. He was upstairs with Ross Stewart. Now, when he was playing up front with Ross Stewart, Ellis Sims and Ross Stewart, that sort of 2 physical presences, it gives us the outlet, and that's not to say that this lad Semedo is only going to be good for his physical prowess and his strength and his height and what have you, because it does say, he does have good technical ability, and from the footage I've seen, he does have good technical ability. But sometimes, particularly in the Championship, which is a very physical league, to just have that option to lump it up to 2 big lads up top, it can work, and it did work when we had Sims and Stewart together, which of course ended up derailing because of Stewart's injury and Sims leaving, going back to Everton. But yeah, I can see why I would go for a player like this. And again, with his age, he has so much room to improve and get better and better with us. And it's a 5-year deal. It's a really, really exciting time. It really is an exciting time. And we needed a striker for so long, and I think we need at least another one. You know, we generally play with one striker, but to give us that sort of options and the competition, because Stewart, you know, when he's fit, granted, he is one of the first names on the team sheet, we know this, but he's going to take a while to get back to fitness. We need a lad, you know, like him, who's motivated and he's been playing, not injured, you know what I mean? We need someone to slot straight in. It's going to take a while for Stewart to get back, and competition will only improve anyway. You know, because I say this all the time with competition, regardless of who you are, you need it, because if a player just knows that regardless of how he does in training, or regardless of how he does on a Saturday, if he just thinks, oh, I'm going to play anyway, you know, I know that I have no competition, so I'm going to start here anyway, then what's the point? How do you get motivated? How do you keep on wanting to improve? Whereas with this, you go shoulder to shoulder with someone who really wants that one position, and that's just the way competition works, and I love that. So yeah, it's another great, exciting signing. So I'm really happy with that. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the signing of Lewis Semedo. But now, in terms of contract renewals, I did actually miss this one out. Of course, I knew about it, but I didn't want to make a video on it originally because it would have been a 1-minute video. But Trey Hume has signed a new contract until 2027, which I'm buzzing with. If anyone deserves a new contract, it was Trey Hume. In my sort of awards video that I did, I give him the most improved player of the season. I still stand by that. I think he was absolutely outstanding, as were a lot of other players. But in terms of improvement, Trey Hume, it was, for me, he just stuck out like a sore thumb. He'd been that good. You know, so that'll give him confidence. He will now be on a championship level contract. I know a lot of these players, particularly the ones we're trying to keep all of the youth players, they will still be on maybe a League One standard contract as we come up. But now we're rewarding them for their performances, which is what you want as well, because the next one is Dennis Serkin, who as of yesterday signed another new deal until 2026, which is absolutely incredible. I think Dennis Serkin is a very, very good player with loads of potential, and I personally think with a run, you know, an injury-free couple of years, he could be a Premier League defender, left back, 100%. I can see that in him. You know, he does have that physicality of, you know, scoring goals and throwing himself into dangerous positions. His defensive work has improved, but going forward, he's second to none at times. It's just a shame that he had, you know, little blips here and there with injuries, but he has an incredible future. And I'm sure in his original contract, I don't know how it stands now, but I'm sure in his original contract, he did have a buyback clause from Spurs. I could be wrong, but I'm sure that was at least a rumour. But now with him agreeing a new deal, does that mean we've had to, maybe there's some wiggle room with Spurs where we've said, okay, now that's gone now and we need to pay them? I don't know how it would work exactly. But whether that's gone or not, that would be great if that is the case. But the fact of the matter is, we're tying down our important players. You know, recent last season, we signed Dhannoo to one, Pato as well. But was it Pato? No, Dhannoo. We're still waiting on Ross Stewart, of course, who only has a year left, I believe. But it looks like we're getting there. And, you know, we need to try and keep this spine of players, and we need to reward players for their performances, and that's what we're doing. So I just love the way the club's been run at the minute. So I know I've mumbled a lot. I'm just very excited. I just finished work, and all this has just happened so quickly, and I'm just very excited. So I probably missed out a load of shit here, but there we go. That's me. Very professional. But there you are. If you've enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. But for now, take care. Stay jammy.